So, we can see, even in a family, whoever has children, and the parents just give everything to a certain son or daughter, that child is always a problem. Because you know why? When we have everything, when we get everything we want, we become spoiled. We don't appreciate things anymore. That's why whenever I go to the small villages, we are human beings. Our subconscious compares who we are talking to. So the mere fact that I am touching, involved with people who has nothing, my subconscious compares between me and them, and I realize that I am so blessed. Are we not blessed? Can I hear from everyone?
We are.
Are we?
We are.
Not loud enough. Doesn't
We are.
sounds like you're not.
We are.
Are we?
We are.
Okay, good. That's the Manny O group family. So what I'm gonna say is, every year when I come up here, many of you who has heard me, in fact, one of you just told my wife she could not come tonight because she's nursing a flu. But she would have wanted to come, but one of you in the hotel approached her or called her and said, when this person heard that she was not coming, that they're sad that she could not come, but this person told Mrs. Osmeña that I'm always looking forward to the message of Mr. Manny O. And because the reason for that probably is every year, instead of going through all the bullshit, excuse my language, I always want to share a lesson that I have learned through the year. And I think all of us should look for a lesson in our lives that we learn every year. We should. Because I want you to know, the biggest challenge of businesses today, or even countries, people who are running the countries, or people who are running the business, the biggest challenge today is not how smart they are, or how skilled they are. The biggest challenge is how good are their character. The character is the issue today. Why do you think all of a sudden, out of the blue, people are just simply having fun in the city of Paris? Bombs just start exploding. And I'm going to tell you, the way the world is going, we have to pray very hard. Because it is literally, all the think tanks are saying it's literally on the verge of World War III. Wake up, guys. That's the truth. And you know why? Because it's all about us. Instead of it's not all about us. Because everybody thinks that it's all about me. It's all about us. You can never tell. It's Paris. It was New York. It can go everywhere. Very dangerous. Can you just try to imagine? Can you hear me, the guys at the back? Am I speaking loud enough? Okay, good. So anyway, because I don't want you to miss this message. In fact, that's the reason why I said I have to speak after everybody has some food in the stomach, so that the brain is open. Otherwise, when you're hungry, your mind is focused on the stomach, right?
Yes.
Not on the ears. So I had to power the stomach in order to power the ears and the mind. So that was the reason. So I would really be very sad if any of you could not get my message. I'm speaking on a global situation right now. And it is my duty or my responsibility as your leader to share with you what I have learned, what I'm learning, and what I know. It's very, very important. Think about it. Do you know one of the most expensive speaker, world's global speaker today is Bill Clinton? Why do people pay so much money for Bill Clinton to speak? I know if you equate it in pesos, he would speak for an hour and a half, 2 hours. He'd get tens of millions. Because he shares what he has learned and what he's learning and what he knows. I am not Bill Clinton, but I'd like to share with you the little that I know. The little that I have learned and I'm learning. And I can tell you can take this home, speak to your children, share this with your relatives. Many of them who has wisdom would love to learn. So, this property, this year, is 10th year from the opening. Can we give a really big round of applause? I mean, bigger. Bigger. I don't care if you use your spoon to bang the glasses. You can break a few glasses, that's fine with me. Can I hear that? And it is the third year. It is the third year. In fact, we reopened the property after a 600 million peso transformation. Today is the exact third year.
Yes.
Yeah, because we reopened on December 15, 2011,
12.
2013.
12.
2012, sorry. 2012, yes, you're right. You know, you know why? Because I have not eaten. So what I'm gonna tell you, many of you here have seen this property since before it was rebranded, before it was transformed. I want you to know that there was a few times through the Asian crisis, through the economic crisis, global economic crisis, that we almost went down. Just on this property, other than my own lifetime, God has allowed me and my work to be struck down a few times. As much as most of the time, He has blessed me. But few times He allowed me to be struck down. And you know what? I can tell you, I rejoice for those times that I was struck down. For those times that I don't know if I will see tomorrow. Why? Because it built my character. It made me stronger. The doctor here has seen me through a lot of hard times. Dr. Arcibal. But you know what? God was always there to pick me up or to pick us up. I'm going to pause and read you a verse in the Bible. It's in the book of Psalms, verse 23 and 24. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall down, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. So what I'm saying is, That is only when He allowed me to be struck down that I realized that when I'm back up, it is not me, it is God. Because I tell you, I'm sure you know a lot of people who are in trouble. And they continue to be in trouble. They go into financial problem. They continue to be in financial problem. So that could have very well happened to me. God could have left me there and say, I won't pick you up. I just leave you there. We can never say that it's God's responsibility to pick us up. But because of His abounding mercy and love and grace, He was always there to pick me up. And I can tell you, before He allowed me to struck down, I was this big. Then when He allowed me to be struck down, I was this big. But when He came to pick me up and revive me, He didn't only bring me back here. He gave me more. Amen?
Amen.
He gave me a lot more. I cannot start to think the magnitude. That is why He made me realize this is all a gift. It's not because I deserve it. It's a gift. So this is why whatever gift He has given me, even if I give 90% away, I still have a 10% gift. That is why the video that you have seen, the important video I want to show you, of course the business video is good. It's the video of the work that God has given us. And it's not only me, all of you. Do not just be comfortable. Take comfort within our four walls. But to climb up the wall, look out of the window and look at the brothers and sisters who has nothing. So I think all of you know that the Yolanda Rebuild program, I'm not the only one who should be proud. Only. All of us should be proud. Because you all contributed for me to be able to do this. So we have almost finished the 160 houses, which is our first project of the Yolanda. This one is Hernani, the last one. Everyone that my officers has shown it to, the most recent 2 days ago was Chris was showing to one of the senior officer of BIR. The amount of awe that Chris explained to me, they could not believe what we're doing. So that Yolanda Rebuild program, not only we build the houses, after the houses finish, you can see, we decide to give them, God impressed in my heart to give them a livelihood. Give them a way to make a living. And not only that, you can see, we have a licensed social worker, Josephine. Joy, where are you? Joy, stand up. She regularly travels to the community. And now, the direction is she is mentoring them how to manage their finances. So what are we doing? Of course, this Yolanda Rebuild program cost us 35 million. Did we go out and ask for contribution from people? No. Not that I'm trying to brag that we're proud. Because God has provided us with the resources to do it. And God has taken away the greed in my heart. I could just decide to put 35 million many months ago. Probably the salespeople will remember. We hosted the Ferrari launch and the Maserati, right? Here. And I was really tempted. Not I was tempted myself. I was being tempted by the people who sell these cars that I deserve to buy one. I could have just put that 35 million in that car. It's 35 million. You know what I told him? I said, give me a very good reason that I should put the 35 million in this piece of metal or give 160 families a home, a livelihood, and a small business. Then I give you my 35 million. You want to know something? And this year, because that 35 was budgeted in the last 2 years. This year was the first time in my life I decided to part with 100 million. And that's why you see the drawing of the hospital on wheel, the mobile clinic. Why 100 million? Because that piece, which is a Mercedes-Benz, could cost 50, 60 million. It's like walking into an emergency room in Makati Medical. For calamity, for disasters. But why 100? Because we were told that we cannot operate that unless we build a small hospital. But you want to know something? I was not sure before I decided with my excom and my board that I want to part with 100 million. I was not sure how I will feel after I part with 100 million. Bisaya pa, wa ko'y siguro magbasol ba ko or malipay ba ko. In fact, I can tell you, I can challenge you. I just learned today. And I will not tell you why. I just learned today, if I put 100 million in all 1,000 peso bills, not anyone here can carry it. You cannot carry it, the weight. So that's why I even made a joke earlier. I said, I'll give 100 million to someone who can carry 100 million worth of peso in 1,000 peso bills. Because you cannot carry it. I'm serious. But you want to know something? After I parted, I could not believe the feeling I was getting that evening. I have never felt anything like this in my life. The best feeling I've ever felt. Because I tell you why. I said this in an interview with Inquirer, and I said this in a couple of interviews, that I realized after I decided to do that, that money is pressure. Money is pressure. You say, why? I give you an example. Let's say one of the ladies here have always worked so hard, saved money to buy an item that's worth 50,000 pesos. Okay? Try to relate with me. Think with me. Not just listen. Am I correct? You already have the 50,000. You saved it. When you go and look at that item, you will go back and forth many times before you grab it. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
Don't you think that act of going back and forth, thinking, back and forth, thinking, back and forth, thinking is pressure?
Yes.
It's pressure.
Yes.
And this 50,000 that you have is not borrowed. It's yours already. You saved it. You work hard. But still, you cannot just part. Even the richest man, if he goes and buy a Ferrari for 35 million, he's not going to walk in and say, here's the check, 35, I drive the car out today. No. He's going to go back and forth because he's going to be really coddled by the salesman. Drive it to him, let him test, black, go back, forth, everything. And the minute he has his car in the garage, he becomes the slave of the car. Am I right?
Yes.
That's why it is pressure. And I realized that I just released that pressure. It was what, March, April, when I decided that, Chris? Huh? So what I want to impart with you is that what we're doing, I'm not saying what I am doing, I'm saying what we are doing is not giving only. We are involved. We put ourselves into to be involved. Because it could just have been giving the house, giving the boat, and leave them alone. Do you know the time I have to spend with the Hope Now Foundation people, the officers, my second daughter Megan, Omar, Joy? I have to spend time to be involved. How to do this, how to do that, why we should do this, why we should do that. We're involved. Example, you have a relative who's poor, you're rich. You can just easily give him 100,000 and walk away. But there's a difference when you give 100,000, then you start mentoring him. That's what you call involved. You know, when you give, it doesn't necessarily mean you love. But when you're involved, you love. And I can tell you, I don't know what happened, maybe because of old age. Because I'm heading towards 63 in a few weeks. All of a sudden, after I celebrated 60 years old, my heart now belongs to the people who has nothing. That's why I came up with this learning that it's not all about us. And you know what? If we can preach this message all over the world, if more and more people truly put this message in their heart and put it into action, the world will have less trouble. The reason why there's so much trouble is because of greed. It's all about me, it's all about us. Instead of, it's not all about me, it's not all about us. Even a simple argument, to win an argument, is because it's all about you, even if you know it's wrong. So, I really pray and hope that the people of Manny Group, while you are with me or when you are not with me, that you will be an ambassador to preach this message. Many of you may think, sir, but you come across very hard. Yes, I want you to know why. Because I live a hard life. I live a very hard life. All of you know I'm a late person. But people who really are close to me, from my maids, who are like my family, and my drivers, and my assistants, the whole day put together, I work longer than anybody else. I will let one of my young helper to tell you what she just told me this afternoon. about my eating. Sa kaon ba? You wanna say something? Daghan bang oras? Daghan bang oras mo kaon?
Gamay ra. Dili hapit mo kaon.
So people who are involved with me, they know. And they love me. Because he hears me all the time. She's the one that massages my left leg for at least 10 minutes every day because I have a problem with my left leg, blood circulation. She hears me while she's doing the massage. Of course, other than that, that's the time I pray. Not just in the night. But she hears me talking to people. How many people that I concern myself with? I don't just talk to rich people. I concern myself with a lot of people. So people who are close to me, they watch me every day, they hear me every day, they will know where is my heart. So don't be surprised when I'm hard. Because I want you to know, we cannot give what we don't have. So we need to make. Otherwise, we cannot give. But I can tell you, it's not me, you're helping me make it, and I put everything in my pocket. No, because it's not all about us. Am I clear?
Yes.
I know this is not, I don't know. Some people might think this is not fun to listen to. But I can guarantee you, it may not be a hee ha ha thing. I may not be making a monkey of myself to make everybody laugh. But I believe your soul is smiling. So that's all I want to tell you. Please learn. But prior to my closing, yeah, thank you. Let's talk about, praise God, that God was there to pick us up, made it even bigger. And this is why I am, just to let you know, for you who doesn't know yet, Manny Wines is a social enterprise already. One company at a time, I'm making it a social enterprise. What's a social enterprise? That a portion of what you make, you adopt the people who has nothing to be a shareholder. Manny Wine, 25% is owned by the poor. There's no name, but that money will continue. Because I don't want the charity to be whenever I like to give. I want already to know that the portion is not owned by me. And I'm going to slowly increase it to 50%. Because I would like to live this life that, according to God's plan, between now until God takes me home, I would like to be able to give away at least 50% of what He has given me. And Ibiza Beach Club Inc., not just this, Ibiza Beach Club Inc. is a company in itself. We already signed with a group of investors in Manila. Money is in, the incorporation is ongoing to build a 300 million peso Ibiza Beach Club in Bonifacio Global City. That's why it says, coming. It is 3 times the size of this, on a 5th floor of the biggest office complex that will be built in Global City. Can sit 1,200 or 1,300 people in one sitting. And Ibiza Beach Club Inc., now as it is established, because we get franchise fee from it, 25% is a social enterprise. So I want to read a last verse from the Bible that God continues to bless us, our business continues to expand and to grow. One very smart businessman, he was the guy that revived the biggest company 20 years ago in the US that was going bankrupt. You know what he said? Most people think that you work hard when the business is suffering. He said that's correct. But he said you need to work twice as hard when the business is doing very well. Why? Because most people, when everything is going very well, we relax. Then before you know it, something's already wrong. Then you cannot revive. That's why I remember there was a verse in the Bible which I will read to you. It's in the book of Psalms. So it's in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 7. This is a story about a community that God blessed so much to make them prosper. And then when they were prospering so much, they took it for granted. And the verse goes this way. The people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. And in one day, 23,000 fell. What is this? What is the meaning here? It means to say, when we are prospering, we have to be twice as careful. We have to work twice as hard on our character because binisaya pa, magsalig ta, mag-abuso ta. That's the idea there. That's why in the same chapter 10, and I have used this when I was invited many years to speak at a pharmaceutical company convention to 1,200 people. They were celebrating the best salespeople of the year. And instead of praising them, saying how good they are, God gave me the verse in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 also, verse 12. It says, therefore, let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. Let him who think he stands take heed lest he fall. Katong naghunahuna nga naa na siya sa ibabaw, magbantay na. Kay kung mahug siya, labihan layo ay ang hug. So we have to be very careful. That's why I told those salesmen who were awarded before I was speaking, I said, don't look at your neighbor and say, ang yabang, and say, I'm better than you. Don't do that. Because you never know. You could be at the bottom next year. Lampasuho na ka. Binisaya ka. So that's my message. It's not all about us. God bless you all. Continue the